first of all, what is a bridge? What are the risks behind it? And then lastly, we're going to check out how to bridge assets using Pulseramp. That's the bridge on Pulsechain. So we're going to start off here with a little analogy, first of all, because I've been talking to some of my friends who are not in crypto, and they seem not to understand what actually happens behind the scene. Anyway, so I'm going to start with a little analogy. And the analogy is like, imagine you're going to a music festival and it's on an island, and there's a little bridge in there. So you and your friends, you got your some American friends, and you have some European friends and some Japanese friends. They're coming over and they're going to the music festival. So anyway, you go to the bridge, and yeah, the guy at the bridge tells you like, bro, we have a nice music festival here. You can basically buy coupons, literally. You can buy different coupons, dollars, euros, or yen. So you hand him over your dollars, and he hands over to you a receipt, basically, that you have, whatever. Let's say you got $100, $100. And with that receipt, you can pay on this music festival, basically. And then you come yourself, you're a bit cheaper. You got your $10, no euros. So you have, both of you have receipts actually. So one thing you have to know in a bridge, that's why there's some risks behind it. It's like all the assets actually are at the bridge, basically. Well, because the guy got the dollars, the real ones, and he just gave you a receipt which just says like, hey, in this festival you can go around here and pay for some stuff. Let's say you want to go for some booze, or you know, go get some food. Well, some of these stands, for instance, they will say like, well, we don't accept dollars, but we accept whatever euros. So you can go to an exchange, you do your exchange basically here, and then you get your euros, let's say, and then you go to the booth stand and you get drunk. Well, that's pretty much it. And then once you're done and you wanna get back to your real life, you go back to the bridge, and let's say you spend already some of it. So maybe you only have, I don't know, maybe you have $25 left. You go back, and the bridge, you show him the receipt, you have $25 left. He gives you the real $25, and you go out and you go home. That's pretty much it. So when we look at this now here, you can already see what the risks are. And the risks are basically, what you can imagine is all the value is held at the bridge, because that's where the real dollars are basically. So if somebody comes and get into this bridge, steal the money, that's an issue, because when you come back and you ask for your money, the guys are like, bro, we got robbed last night. We don't have the money. So this receipt is pretty much worthless then at that point, basically. So that's one of the risks already happening. Anyway, that's a little analogy so that you maybe can understand what's going on behind the scene. Well, let's now jump to the real deal now, right? So anyway, here it's not an island. It's basically, here you have your Ethereum island and your Pulsechain island, let's say. And for you, from getting here to bring value to this other side, you need to go this Pulseramp. So we're gonna do this today. Basically, we're going to be we're gonna get some dye, and then we're gonna bring the wrist dye here to Pulseramp, and then we're gonna get a receipt like on the other side, basically, which is the basically the bridged in die. So I think, I'm not so sure what they call it actually, but I guess it's like, I don't know. I'm just gonna put a B in there, bridging die. And with this bridging die, basically you can bring value from here to here, and well, you can then transact. You can exchange it, or and yeah, whatever you like to do, basically exchange it or use it for whatever you would like. So anyway, let's get started. So the first thing what we need to do is like, we need to get some dye so that we can actually use the pulse ramp. So first of all, I need some ETH. So testnet ETH. And then we may also need a bit of DAI, because DAI is basically the stable coin, the dollar. So we want to bridge in DAI over to Pulsechain. So first we need to get some ETH, then get some DAI, and this DAI we're gonna bridge it over to through Pulsechain to be BDAI. On the testnet, how do we get some ETH? Because you cannot really buy them. It's a testnet, so you just need to get it from somewhere. There's several ways. I'm just going to show one of them. This is this place here. You basically visit the site, paste in your address, and then you basically start mining. This mining issue is just basically to prevent people overusing it, basically abusing it. So I've been doing it now for a bit of time. So I'm just going to stop and then I'm going to claim my rewards. All right. So the first say is claim. Okay. The transaction has been confirmed. That is great. If I look at Etherscan, so it's still indexing. It's going to take a while. All right. So when we're back here, so we got some ETH. Now we need to get some DAI. How do we get some DAI? We need to basically this ether scan here, and then there is a function basically which is called create, and we need to write that to with our address. And when we do that, we're going to get some mock die here, as you see, mock die basically. That's great. We connected, confirm, and if we check here, you see I have a bit of some of the ETH, so this is great. So I need my address, I copy that, I paste it in, right? I need to confirm. I'm going to confirm, and then it's still pending. We're going to wait for a second. I'm going to check it on the Explorer. Oh, it's confirmed. That's great. So if I check right now, I should have some mock die on my. I need to also let me click on it. How do I? I think the token address, token contract. I'm going to copy that, and then you go in here, import tokens. I'm gonna put that in there. Oh, TDI. So add custom token. There you go. So now I'm gonna go back. As you've seen, I have 10,000 TDI. So that's great. So now we got some ETH, we got some DAI. Now we need to go through the bridge. Basically, we need to bridge it in to get the bridging version of DAI. And that's going to be done through the Pulsechain bridge. I'm going to connect again. So I'm on the Cipolia network testnet. So I'm going to bridge in some of this. So now I'm on the Ethereum side. And let's say I have here 1,000 TDI. So to bridge it over to Pulsechain testnet, it's going to cost me 0.1%. So that's pretty great. And then basically I'm going to send it over. Authorize bridge to access 1,000 DAI. So I'm going to authorize that first. I'm just going to put, I mean, you can put max, but maybe just put the amount you really need. So I'm going to do that. So I'm just authorizing the bridge to basically spend 1,000 TDIs. So now is basically the first one was just to authorize that the DAB is allowed to access my $1,000. Now I can send it. And sending is also a transaction. So I need to confirm that as well, basically. So I'm just going to confirm that. Takes a bit of time, but they should go through. So this is already happening basically, and the question is click here to begin a new page. You can see this arrow there at any time on the transaction page. Okay, I mean we can just wait, or we can actually even start a new version because this transaction is still pending basically. But let's wait a bit and see. It takes quite a bit of time. Okay, I mean I'm just gonna go here and then go to transactions, and then I should be able to see the transaction. Testnet claim. Oh, it's claimed. Yeah, they should be bridged in already. So now the only thing is what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna change. This is just a trick to get to pull chain testnet basically. So I'm just gonna it switches the network basically. So now I've switched over the network, and now here, as you can see, the assets are not there. So we have to basically, you can see as I have it here, as you can see, because it knows that my address says, so it has been bridged in already. So I mean, I can start using it already, basically. So I got basically the receipt, and this is the bridged in version. Go and exchange it on PulseX, basically. No, I think that's the, yeah. So once that has been done, a good idea is to revoke permissions. And we're going to see there is no allowance. So we need to go here and go to, so I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. So my allowance, seems like there is no allowances. Signatures. Oh, yes, you see allowances. So as you can see here, this is, whoops, TDI token Pulsechain. So as you can see, revoked cache still doesn't work yet because they still have the V3, which, yeah, is definitely not working. So, but anyway, this is important. Using revoke is very important. Needs to be used. So now what we can do is probably, here we want to see the T die here as well. So what can we do? So as you can see, we're going to go to the transactions, and then this is on the sending side, which is obviously on the Ethereum side in the Sepolia testnet. And then on the receiving end, that's the pull chain basically, because they get minted. So we're going to click on the receiving end. And basically, here is all the bridges. And then here at the end, this is where the tokens have been minted. And you can see this is your address or my address, and you get TDI. You just click on the TDI, and this is the contract basically. And the contract has, you can copy the address of the contract here. So as we can see now, when you check Pulse Chain testnet, you don't see any tokens here. But if we paste that in and we add the token, you can directly see we got 999 TDI. Alrighty, so that's great. So now all this has been done. Let's go and check out PulseX. Now we're gonna do some exchange.